Good afternoon, everybody. It is meteorologist Angel Weather Forecast, and welcome back to the video, guys. So this video is gonna be about a possible possible early May nor'easter, and also some possible severe weather in the southern and central Florida area. So we're gonna have some two parts of this video, but the main topic is gonna be that possible nor'easter that can form, or that is actually happening right now, and can bring a good amount of snow for some of those areas. But we only have some winter storm advisories for those mountain areas in Maine and New Hampshire, because there's not going to be a huge amount of rain, there's not going to be a huge amount of snow, and there's not going to be enough wind to cause blizzard conditions. So it's going to be if it's going to be classified as a nor'easter, it's going to be a very small and low, small categorized, but we're not categorized, but a very small nor'easter, not going to be like those big, major ones you actually see in the March area. And then we have some flood advisories and warnings in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey area. And then we have some advised warnings in the Vermont area, and the severe thunderstorm warnings for the areas close to the Orlando area, but just off the coast, or just a couple miles to the east. So we'll be having the next hour or so, we're going to have some really strong amounts of rain for parts of the West Virginia area and the Virginia border near the DC area. And then as we go on, it's going to intensify a lot more. We're going to have that rain start to bring in some really high amounts of rain per hour, some really strong bands to the Philadelphia area, more to the southeastern part of the state, to the eastern part, and then the border of the northern part of Pennsylvania, southern part of New York. We can actually have another possible band of not severe weather, but just more like really heavy rain. This will probably be the only area that can have that really severe possible chance of having severe weather. But in the more into the heavy dark red, that's where we can have that just heavy amounts of rain, high rate of the rain coming down. And we go more to the night. Overnight, we have some scattered little areas in the upstate New York area, in the Vermont mountains near the Burlington area. We have some possible rain or snow showers that can come in, and that's going to bring a lot of possible rain, and that's where that low is going to be. So if it was a bit closer to the northeast, or to the area, it could bring a lot more snow. But since it's a lot farther out into the Atlantic Ocean, it's going to bring just a little more of rain, and that's why it's going to bring that really heavy rain to the New England area. A lot of rain for the Connecticut area, Providence area, going to get a lot of Boston area, and then we can have some possible flooding for the upstate New York area, and our Syracuse can actually might get some snow mix. So we'll be going the next couple hours, overnight into tomorrow morning. That low pressure system will way up and bring some rain for the Canada area, Nova Scotia area. So then that snow will move into near the Portland area, Maine, upper state New York, in the mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire. Again, not going to be a lot of snow, but going to be up to 5 inches. And then more into the eastern part of Maine can have quite some heavy rain. And then it's going to bring a lot more snow to the Nova Scotia area than you would see in the Maine area. But it's going to be very rare to see this May snow, and either way, so it's going to be quite a lucky area if you want some snow there. But it's going to bring that rain and snow into the Maine area as we go later into the evening tomorrow. Let's go into the next model of the European. Haven't used one of these radars in forever, because I've been doing up close weather that's gone in the past couple or that is not into the future of more than 3 days. So I'm just going to show this radar for you guys to have a better understanding too. So this European model is a bit different, but it's going to show you the similarity of that, where that low is. Going to bring some really heavy rain for those Boston area, Providence area. Going to bring a lot of snow, rain, and then that's where with Syracuse, that area can have maybe some freezing rain, and that most amount of snow will be in that upper state, New Hampshire area and southern part of Vermont as we go into the next couple hours. And then the European model is going to show a bit less snow for the Maine area, and it'll bring a lot more, maybe light to moderate rain from the Maine than more of a snow. But it'll be more of that western part and connected to the Canada area that will get that most amount of snow. But That's what it's looking like there in the European. So let's show you guys the severe weather in the Florida. So it's been very quiet for the Florida area, but we have some really strong bands into the areas in the coastal area, and then we have another band forming into the Gulf of Mexico. So it's going to be very severe for Florida, not likely you see. And so we're going to have a high pressure system, so it's going to be a bit less of a threat than what you see with those low pressure systems. Like example here, we have that bringing a lot of rain, but this high pressure system is going to bring some really good amount of rain for the eastern parts of or areas that are east of Orlando. Orlando can have some possibly a thunder or two, and then that high pressure system will move its way to the Fort Lauderdale area, into the Miami area. Really strong thunderstorms into the Miami area, and then it'll go off quick. But again, the worst of it will be in the next couple hours, as it will bring some really severe weather. But in the next hour or so, those storms are just popping up in Florida as we speak. And as we go into the next 6 hours, which will be around 11 o'clock, it's really going to be intensifying in the north central part of Florida. And then by tomorrow morning, it will bring some severe weather for the Miami area, and then it'll go out. So it's going to be very fast but strong band. Let's go into the more specified radar. So let me just show you guys this. So in the next 4 hours, we have some really strong bands forming off into the Atlantic and to the Gulf of Mexico. And then we have a small little band for the Orlando area. So be considered lucky if you have some plans in Orlando and Disney World, where those really strong bands are actually just a couple miles east of you. But as we go next into overnight hours, it's going to show a bit less storms for the Miami area. But it's going to bring some really strong storms in the next couple hours for the western part of Florida into the Gulf of Mexico, where they're touching the Gulf of Mexico, and to the north central part, north of Orlando, can really get some intensified storms in the next couple hours. And then as we go overnight, it starts to calm down a bit more, and by tomorrow, it should be partly cloudy in those areas. So let's go over the what the Storm Prediction Center has for us. So I just updated it right now. So we have a slight chance for those areas in Florida on the coast, the Atlantic Ocean. And then we have a other area in Texas that has slight chance. But I actually looked at the radar, not looking like any big bands, just maybe a small one or two, but really not really any bands going through Texas. But we might have maybe one or two small strong bands somehow in this area. So that's why. But in the area in Florida, and then we have only have a very low chance of having that in the mid-Atlantic. As first of all, it's moving by really fast, and it's not going to be severe weather. It's just going to be some really heavy rain. But it will include St. Lucie, Florida, Fort Pierce, Florida, and Palm City, Florida. So some really known cities, but north of Fort Lauderdale and Miami. And then we had it's just a couple miles. As Miami will be in the marginal, we have Miami and we have Hialeah, Florida. So some really really well-known cities to me. But it's just going to be just a couple miles south of the Orlando area. So you're really lucky if you have some plans in the Disney World area. So if we go to the snowfall from this possible nor'easter, not a lot of snow. The most amount of snow will be in that New Hampshire, north central New Hampshire, a couple miles of the border of Maine, where they can actually get up to 6 inches there. But the rest of upstate New York, at most, maybe 2.5 inches there. Really, snow getting really close to the New York City area and the Buffalo area. But this would be the biggest area with that heavy snow, from ranging 6 to 2 inches there. Not a lot of snow for the Portland, Maine area. So really rare to see that happen. And then we're going to have just this little area with at most 6 inches. And then Burlington might not get even an inch or so. It might have some flurries, but it will be more into the southern part of Vermont that can get that snow. Now let's look at the amount of rain that's going to happen with this possible nor'easter. The most amount of rain will be in that northern part of Pennsylvania, all the way through the upstate or central New York to close to the Buffalo area. That's where we get that possibly at most 1.8 inches there. The rest will be a lot less than that. The New York City area might get only 0.9 inches of rain. the Boston area might only get 0.7 inches of rain. So if you are not in a blue area, if you're in the green, you are you're less than half an inch. So not a lot of rain there, but it's going to be most of the rain for the central part of New York and upstate Pennsylvania. So that's the amount of rain that's going on there. Now let's check out the winds really quick on what's going to happen with this storm or this possible nor'easter, what the winds are going to be like. So the heaviest winds again will be off the coast, not really inland, since this low pressure system is really far out into the ocean. But the most amount of rain, or the biggest amount of wind, will be right on the coast with Connecticut and Rhode Island, which winds will reach up to 30 miles per hour wind. And then as we go into the next couple of hours, it will bring some really heavy winds for the coastal, some bay areas in the main area, but it's going to be a very small area. If you're like right on the tip of the bay, like you can get some heavy winds, and the heaviest wind will be about 27 miles per hour there. So it's going to be very calm actually, since to see what the difference would happen if the low where the low is a very big has a very big effect. If the low's here, that's where it's going to bring that real winds on the right on the coastal areas. But if the low pressure is here, it can bring some really strong inland winds, and that can be just straight winds, which can bring possible damaging winds. But that's not going to be the case here. But as we go in the next 2 days, that's where we're going to have a bit more some winds in the inland areas, but it's only be about 16 miles per hour. So not going to be not much of a nor'easter than you expect. But in the next couple of days, it would be very calm there. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys will all be safe and just be careful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you guys in the next video. And there is a high chance I won't be able to post tomorrow, so I'm really sorry about that, but I'll be able to post on Wednesday. So bye.